going to say. Let's talk about Awesome.
If you want.
Mr. Awesome, as I called you earlier.
Yep.
So you've created this protein supplement brand, I should say. Talk to me about that. Why and how did that come about? Did you identify a gap in the market because you're a PT, or has it always been a dream of yours to do that?
So I've always worked in nutrition. Naturally, people go, oh, what supplements do you recommend? So I'd always worked with a company to recommend. And I worked with a nice little company, real great ethos. And then it just started to get a little bit too kind of unresearched based, the company. And the guy was like, do you know what? We're going to sell CLA because it just sells and we need kind of money. And like all of their values just sort of started to whittle in the face of money. So I was then being asked to promote all this stuff without the research behind it. I was creating more and more distance between myself and the company. And it was a shame because we'd been working with each other for a good 3 or 4 years, had a strong relationship. And I then started to look around and I was like, well, why don't I form a partnership with a different supplement company? But at the time, they were all doing the same stuff. Everyone was selling whey protein, CLA, multivitamins, loads of, like 40% of their products just weren't research backed. And I was like, wow, this is tough. I was like, and then in my naivety, I was like, how hard can it be to set up a supplement company? So, we all got round a table and I was like, I'm going to start a supplement company. Let's brainstorm a name. And just kind of went on that journey. Awesome came up because someone literally just said, you say awesome all the time. Why don't you just call it Awesome Supplement? So I deliberated on that for a while and I was like, actually, yeah, you're right. And it's really easy to name the products because we can just call it Awesome Protein, Awesome Multivitamin, Awesome. So it just it kind of fell into place. And then I've got a real perfectionist trait. And I think that's kind of really just more of like an entrepreneurial thing where you just want to do things better than it's currently being done. So, for example, all of the vegan proteins on the market just tasted garbage. Just tasted like sawdust with a little bit of cocoa powder just blown in.
They were horrendous, them early ones.
So I was like, it must be possible to make something that tastes really tasty.
You're not a vegan, are you?
I'm not vegan.
Okay, fine.
And that kind of commitment to just doing better, we made a really fucking good vegan protein. It's still incredible.
Yeah.
And
it's genuinely probably one of the best tasting ones I've had.
No, it is.
Oh, I've not tried them all.
And that really helped the business because that was a product that really stood out kind of in the market. So I wouldn't say we did well early. I mean, it took us like 4 years to turn a profit. It's really hard building a product-based business. You've got to keep buying product to feed demand, which was a really naive thing for me. But it's been a real interesting business journey. It's still extremely challenging. But
how do you... Yeah. There's 2 parts of it I'm interested in. One, because I'm the why guy, how on earth do you make your own protein? Now, what I mean is, are you white labeling? Is there a factory? Are you testing stuff? What are you telling them to put in it? Are you telling them not to put certain stuff in it? Do you see what I mean? Who's making it? Where's it made?
So you go to a supplement manufacturer.
UK-based?
UK-based, yeah. Well, originally, right at the beginning, we went to Belgium.
Okay.
Because Belgium had some of the best quality standards in the whole of Europe. So we started in Belgium. And then that was becoming quite a problematic relationship. So we moved some of our production to the UK, and then we moved all of it to the UK just before breakfast. Breakfast? Brexit.
Did the cost go up when you came to the UK?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, they did. But we felt it was a move for future like brand security and supply chain security. So yeah, most contract manufacturers will have like a research and development arm within the business. So you work with them to like flavor it and tell them what you want and all the rest of it. So all of the formulas I've built through working in direct correlation with the research and then trying to flavor them to be, as awesome tasting as possible. So it's not complicated.
Interesting.
You can white label.
What about, I mean, the only reason, I've never done it with protein, but I looked into doing our own vodka similar to you, when I first got into nightclub. I thought, surely it can't be that hard. We sell the most amount of bottles of vodka than anything else.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And that proved, one, because of the duty. There was like at the time, I think £6 per bottle was just duty. So when you're buying a bottle of Smirnoff, say at £8, this is what blew my mind. £6 of that is tax.
Yeah.
So for £2, someone is researching that, making it, bottling it, labeling it, shipping it, and selling it to you.
Mental, isn't it?
What the fuck's in it? Like, how the hell do they do that?
Yeah.
So that's why I was asking about the protein thing, because obviously surely there's regulation, there's guidelines. It's an edible product. You're putting it into your body. It's a drug. Not literally, but it's a thing. It's a supplement, I should say. That's probably the better word. What about funding of that? How do you fund that?
So I had a business before that. Well, I still do. That was called the BTN Academy. So that was an education business. In the education business, the margins are higher. So I used any profits that we had from that business and put it into Awesome Supplements. So Awesome Supplements never would have existed if I didn't have a previous profitable business.
Got you.
So that funded it for...
From being a PT, you then trained and set up the BTN Academy, which is a nutrition...
education company. So we teach people how to become qualified nutrition coaches.
Amazing. That's still going now?
Yeah, it's still going now. Coaching.
And then you've used some of that. There's no investment that has to go in or anything like that. You managed to self-fund also.
Self-funded, the whole way through. Wow. Apart from COVID, took the 50 grand bounce back loan or whatever.
Yeah. Well, most people did, I think. Yeah. That's a whole different topic.
When in Rome.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic. We won't go into that task force. Now, so your flagship product was vegan protein.
Yep.
I would say. That's how I actually found out about Awesome.
Yep.
Because when I started, I'm not vegan, but for some reason the whey proteins, maybe I battered it so much as a kid that now when I drink them, I bloat straight away. They make me extremely gassy.
Me too, yeah.
And one of my friends who's also a PT said, mate, have you ever tried vegan protein? And I was one of them dismissive kids at that age. I was like, I'm fucking vegan protein. There's nothing in it.
Yeah.
It's like vegetables and stuff. And he was like, no, like it's come a long way.
Yeah.
Have a look at it and it won't bloat you. And then I tried a load of them. I think there was Raw Sport that was quite powdery. But it was meant to be like the cleanest of loads of stuff in it. And there's all this kind of bits. And then someone, I can't remember who it was, maybe my partner or might have even been my Billum, my boxer mate. He said, try this Awesome, tastes really good.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Tasted insane.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any of the side effects that I'd get kind of from whey.
Yeah.
What else do you sell? Not whey protein?
No. We're now a 100% plant-based company. So the only protein we do is our Awesome Protein, which is plant-based, made from organic pea and rice. And then we've got an advanced multivitamin, plant-based omega-3, curcumin, so a joint formula. And then there's your traditional performance products, pre-workout, hydrate.
All plant-based?
All plant-based, yeah.
And are they all relatively clean, being honest?
Well, when you say clean, what do you mean? Again, it's quite because I'll say yes, and the audience will be, oh, great, it's clean. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, okay, let me rephrase that. So bad word. So
we put only what you need in it. So, for example,
pre-workout. Let's say pre-workout, because I recently spoke to a different supplement company, and they were arguing to me that they were the cleanest pre-workout or the healthiest pre-workout, or only in there what kind of what you said of what
claims
you need.
They can't substantiate. It's bullshit.
So I mean, there's no real long-term study on protein. Like when I started taking, what I mean by that is when I started taking protein when I was 18, my dad was like, "What are you taking?" So I was protein powder. He was like, "Yeah, but how do you know it's not unhealthy for you?" I said, "Well, it won't be. It's protein." He said, "Well, it's not been around. It's only been around 5 years. How can it? There's not enough study. Cigarettes were healthy once for us. Having cocaine in your Coca-Cola was healthy once for us." Do you understand what I'm trying to get at? So
I do.
Is there?
Keep going.
I'm playing devil's advocate. Is there? What is in this stuff? What is in it? So when I'm having this protein powder, your Awesome Protein powder.
Yeah.
What's it physically made out of to get the protein? Soy.
Organic pea.
Yeah.
Rice.
Yeah.
Cocoa.
Yeah.
Sweetener.
Yeah.
Salt.
Yeah.
An agent that basically doesn't make sure it kind of clumps.
Okay.
That's it. 6 ingredients.
Nothing else.
That's it. We don't need anything else in it. So there's loads of tricks that companies will do to like pad it out, make it cheaper. In the world of protein, the classic one is amino spiking. So they're like, 10 grams of added BCAAs, which means they can make the protein label claim, put less protein in it and put amino acids in it because it's cheaper. And then they'll improve their margin, but still be able to make the label claim. And that's probably one of the biggest issues with this world of supplements. It's like, I can do these things to make a label claim, but on the back of the label, there's not what is on the front of the label, what the claim would initiate. And that's why knowing the research is really important, because how many people take supplements are like, yeah, so-and-so on Instagram said, yeah, great. And then they spent 35 quid, pot turns up and, the pot's just useless. They're just throwing the money down the toilet.